Cities such as Coimbatore, Kochi, Thiruvananthapuram and the rapidly developing Visakhapatnam are playing a key role in this expansion. These markets are increasingly becoming growth engines for the region, reinforcing South India's importance in India's overall real estate landscape.
Today, buying or investing in property isn't just about budgets and returns. Legal clarity matters just as much. In this segment of Legal Edge, Mr. Venkat Rao, who is our legal expert, joins us to answer some of the most important questions facing home buyers and investors today. So my first question to you, Mr. Venkat Rao, is investing in a pre-launch project even before RERA registration actually legal? And should the buyers consider going ahead with such projects?
No. Pre-launch, there is no concept called pre-launch. RERA suggests that you should have a registration before. There only and thereafter only you can even make an advertisement. So there's no concept of pre-launch anymore. Pre-launch is only a marketing gimmick. So nobody should fall for that. It's a clear case that it's a project, means it needs to be registered. Then only you can sort of advertise and then sell.
My next question is, when the projects get delayed and misscheduled delivery timelines, what rights does an investor or home buyer really have?
Prior to RERA, there was no set law about it. But post-RERA, Section 18 of the Act specifically provides that you have a right to seek refund in case of delay, or in case you want to continue in the project, then you can get a delayed interest for the period of delay. You can get interest. Say, for instance, if a developer or a promoter commits a project to be completed in, say, 3 years, and if he fails to complete it, then you have absolute right to seek refund the day it is 300, immediately after 1 day after 3 years. Or you can choose to be with the promoter. You will be entitled to get a interest on the delayed period at the rate of MCLR plus 2% or 1% as the states, respective states may notify.
Home design is changing the way we live today. In our What's New segment, we look at why pillarless spaces are becoming the new preference and how design is opening homes to light, views and nature.
Big balcony, even bigger potential. In our fast-rising cities, outdoor space is no longer just an add-on. It's an opportunity. Vertical gardens are redefining balcony living. Moving beyond crowded pots on the floor, they transform walls and railings into living, breathing landscapes. A revolution that's already taking root globally and soon across India. Using modular planters, pocket panels, or elegant trellises, balconies become lush green canvases. Herbs, flowers, leafy greens, even small vegetables all thriving vertically without taking away precious space. The impact goes beyond beauty. Vertical gardens improve air quality, offer natural cooling, create privacy, and become a stunning visual focal point. They don't just decorate a home, they enhance how it feels. Start simple, low maintenance, sun-loving plants like succulents, basil, mint, or trailing blooms work best. With proper drainage, strong support, and regular watering, nature does the rest. Because a spacious balcony isn't just an outdoor area. It's a chance to reconnect with nature, elevate well-being, and reimagine urban living, one vertical garden at a time.
That's all on this episode of Our Estate, Building the Nation. We'll be back with more insights, sharper analysis and on-ground stories from India's evolving property landscape. Until then, stay informed, stay invested and keep watching Our Estate Building the Nation.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है
So what Europe does with itself, how does Europe relate to others is very important. So this, in that context for us, when we looked at all the big polls, I think the one which was most under-realized was our relationship with Europe. And within Europe, in fact, in many ways, our relationship with Germany. And if I were to say what has changed in the recent past, we've had really two big back-to-back events in India. The visit of Chancellor Merz. I think it was his first visit to Asia. And then the India-Europe FTA, which President von der Leyen described as the mother of all deals. So I think the two of them actually are creating a new landscape between us. And we hope to take it forward. But I would just add one last point that, the relationships don't happen just by visits and agreements and headline news or even discussions here. They need a lot of comfort building. At different levels in the systems, people need to know each other, call each other, discuss with each other, throw ideas at each other. And we need India and Europe and India and Germany to work to build that level of comfort, which I think is eminently feasible. And that's really what I see as the task before us.
Do you think that if, Minister Vadeful, do you think that 2-3 years ago, you would not have had such a deepening relationship with India? And to what extent is this relationship part of the way that you are thinking about China?
No, to be honest, 2 or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have expected that we would come to that very level of cooperation between us and between the European Union and India as well. As Joyce correctly said, we're just building up a new center of sovereignty here in Europe. And of course, he referred to the shocks we had in the last years. And of course, the last one was only Greenland. Before that, of course, the Russian war of aggression and so on and so on. We all remember that. And the conclusion from our side was that really we have to bring Europe to a new level in the decision-making process, to come to a qualified majority voting, to be really able to act when it comes to foreign policy, and also with regard to our enlargement process. The Chancellor just yesterday answered to a question from the Western Balkans that we are very open to the enlargement process. We are not only looking to the Western Balkans, but perhaps also to other countries, not only in the east, but also perhaps in the north. So, and India, of course, was always, I would say, on our radar, but it was, we oversaw sometimes the opportunities which are laying ahead. And when we realized that, I think we made steps forward. And we know each other for some times, not only we personally, but also our governments. And this is a longer line, which also former governments in Germany took. And for that very reason, there was a common ground. And I would like to quote my friend Jaish with a very important sentence, which makes perhaps clear. And he said, quote unquote, "Predictability today carries a huge premium in global politics." And this is so true. And I think perhaps it needed these shocks that we were aware that we know where India is and that you are predictable and that we trust you, and vice versa perhaps. And so This initiated what happened, and this, of course, makes a categorical difference to China. We are both democracies. We have freedom of speech. We have rule of law. And that, of course, means really a lot for us. And so India is a very different partner to us compared to China.
Mr. Jaishankar, when one of your themes has been strategic autonomy. Following the recent agreement with the US, the trade agreement, where you are now forced to wean Russia off of, wean India off of Russian oil, does that not impact your strategic autonomy? Because that's how you were explaining it in the past.
No, look, I think, one, we are very much wedded to strategic autonomy because it's very much a part of our history and our evolution. And it's.
But can you exercise this strategic autonomy today as much as you want?
No, well, we do, and we've always done. I think, you know, it's something which is very deep, and it's something which cuts across the political spectrum as well. Where the energy issues are concerned, look, you know, this is today a complex market. I think oil companies in India, as in Europe, as probably in other parts of the world, look at availability, look at costs, look at risks, and take the decisions that they feel is in the best interest. So I would say, and you know, we have a position which you know on that. So I don't you know, want to rehash the polemics of that. I think that phase has passed. Today, when you know, coming to Munich, very honestly, I'm kind of coming here in the afterglow of an India-EU FTA and a very successful visit of Chancellor Merz. So I would rather, look, you know, we are not in 22, we are not in 23, we are not even in 25. So many things are changing, and so many of us are doing our calculations and recalculations. It's important for us to say, what are the touch points, what are the common grounds, where is it we can strengthen each other? We would not, I mean, we talk to each other quite often. We would not necessarily agree on everything, but I do believe that by doing that, and if there is an inclination to find common ground and overlaps, that would happen. But if the bottom line of your question is, would I remain independent-minded and make my decisions, and you know, would I make choices which sometimes may not agree with your thinking or his thinking or somebody else's thinking out there? Yes, it can happen.
This is a question for both of you. Is this new world order that's emerging one in which there are coalitions that get formed for specific issues, whether sometimes it works for trade, sometimes, and this is the sort of the Mark Carney view of the future?
I would say yes. Coalition is perhaps a good phrase, not alliances, but specific coalitions. And of course, that includes this is not only for one sector. You cannot have a coalition only orientated perhaps on the economic sector if you have not a common understanding, a basic understanding on other sectors as well. So we are also cooperating on the defense sector very closely. We are cooperating when it comes to build resilience against climate change. We are cooperating when it comes to defending democracies and all these international rules-based standards and so on. So this is, I would say, a new world, a good new world is ahead, is achievable. Of course, we have to strengthen our efforts. The EU has to be to become capable to be effective on the world stage. We're working on that, as I just said. But for Germany, it's absolutely clear that we are looking beyond Europe, and not only over the Atlantic Ocean to the west. Where are our partners? Where are possible partners on other continents? And we are finding them. This is the fortunate situation we're in.
This has often been India's strategy.
Yes. I mean, I obviously, like most of us in the room, followed Prime Minister Carney's speech in Davos with a lot of attention. But bear in mind, Carney is speaking as the Prime Minister of an alliance country, of a treaty partner. And for a treaty partner, in a way, this is new ground that he's breaking. Whereas for a country like India, which never went into that kind of, treaty-based relationships or alliances, we've been in that frame of mind for a long time. I mean, that is part of the strategic autonomy thinking, which belief that I spoke to you about. So if you look at it, we have Quad, which is with the US, Japan, Australia, very important in the Indo-Pacific. We've had BRICS, originally with Brazil, Russia, China, then South Africa, now 5 more are added on. We have a number, if I actually count them, I think we have probably more than 20 of these trilateral or more than trilateral combinations. In fact, we just did one with Canada, with Mr. Carney, India, Australia, and Canada. You're
deepening your relationship with Brazil as well, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. We have one with India, Brazil, South Africa. So we are as 3 developing democratic countries. So for us, this kind of coalition or working groups, call it what you would, but essentially an effective, practical, agenda-based coming together of countries on a regular basis. This has been very much the hallmark of Indian diplomacy now for about 2 decades.
I'm going to open it up for a question after this one for Minister Vadeful. What do you think of a world made up of spheres of influence? And what is your sphere?
Yeah, of course, our sphere is of course Europe, but I have to realize that there are powers who are trying to have that spheres of influence, and of course, in a way, we have to build up resilience in Europe against that. So that is a very good reason for us to look for these partners. And like India does have a lot of partners, so do we, as Europeans, as Germans, with a long-lasting relationship with Japan, a big friendship. I was just in Australia and New Zealand and visited Singapore and the Pacific Islands. I will spend my next longer visit to Latin America, so being in Brazil, Argentina, perhaps also Chile. So we have a lot of partners, and of course I would have to mention the African continent as well. But I think the new thing is, some years ago, and that was one of the first questions you raised here correctly, was, did you expect that very development? And I answered no, because some years ago we firstly considered these countries as being members of the BRICS, and that is in a sort of alienated us from them, and that was wrong. So now we realized that, of course, we have a lot of differences with especially Russia, that has not to be underscored here. They are very, very fundamental. And also with China, but we have a lot of things in common with countries like India, like Brazil. And why not focusing on these common interests and common values? So this is, I think, the new view Europe and Germany is putting on the world.
It's very interesting. There was a question over there. Yes, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is Dalal Erakat from Palestine. I want to touch upon the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, the IMEC, which we did not hear today. It is framed as a platform for connectivity, stability, and shared prosperity. How does India envision IMEC contributing to a regional stability in a way that is inclusive of Palestine and the Palestinian rights and consistent with international law and the two-state solution, so that economic solutions and integration and the trade road competition that brings also Europe and Germany to the board do not proceed alongside political exclusion of the Palestinian rights? Thank you.
Well, you know, we have a long-standing position on Palestine, which you're familiar with. And when we embarked with a set of partners on the IMEC, the purpose of the IMEC is really to address connectivity, logistics issues, and improve the economy. So I would be careful sort of mixing up the two issues. The purpose of the IMEC is not to solve the Palestinian issue or to somewhere contribute or strengthen or so I do think each of those issues is important, but I would not take one as the solution for the other.
Is IMEC progressing? It's something that I think President Trump was quite excited.
You know, answer is kind of yes, but not at the pace at which people initially expected it to, which is understandable because there was a big conflict going on in the Middle East and everybody's attention was on that conflict. But what I do see, I mean, when I come to Europe, especially when I meet people, countries, governments, leaders, businesses from Mediterranean Europe, but not only from Mediterranean Europe, from Germany as well, from France, there's a big European interest in IMEC. There's a big Indian interest in IMEC. We are the two ends of it. Remember, this is the historical trade route of, hundreds, if not thousands of years. So we are trying, yesterday, I think Chancellor Merz used this coming back from a vacation from history. I think when you come back from the vacation, you'll discover IMEC is also part of history which you need to reinvent.
There's another question down there. Yeah.
Brankica Jankovic from Serbia, human rights expert. My question is for Minister Vadufel. You are also well known as a credible and reliable leader, and
All right, so that was External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar at the Munich Forum, stressing India's multi-coalitions approach. Jaishankar was speaking on multiple issues, from the Khalistan issue in Canada to the issues of trade. Jaishankar speaking in Munich, and that is the Munich conference. It is coming in on 6 stories at 6. All right, viewers, we start with the top story that we have lined up for you. The row over tax exemption on disability pensions for the military veterans is in focus as the union budget proposed a change that has, in fact, angered the veterans. For decades, these pensions have been fully exempt from the income tax, whether a soldier was medically discharged from service after a disability on duty or continued in service despite the injury. Now, the government plans to limit the exemption only to those who were invalidated out on medical grounds starting April 2026. Now, veterans say that the move is unfair and discriminatory. Here's more.
For over 100 years, disability pensions for armed forces personnel have been fully exempt from income tax. This practice began in 1922 and continued under the Income Tax Act of 1961. But now, the issue has stoked controversy.
Capital expenditure grants the...
In the Union Budget of 2026, the Government of India has proposed amending the Income Tax Act. The change would restrict full tax exemption only to personnel who are discharged on medical grounds due to disability linked to military service. If passed, soldiers who continue serving despite their disability or take early retirement will no longer receive full tax exemption. The proposal has sparked concern among veterans.
If you cut out these concessions, the risk, we don't want a risk-avert army. Today you take a risk for the simple reason that even if my arm is amputed, I will be looked after. But the problem is that the day this doubt comes in the mind of a soldier, he may become risk-averse. Now, this is a very serious thing which people who are sitting in the bureaucratic chairs must understand, because this is something which is not being understood very well.
Over the years, this full tax exemption has applied not only to soldiers who were forced to leave service due to serious injuries, but also to those who continued serving the country despite their disability and later retired as usual.
डिसेबिलिटी पेंशन के ऊपर टैक्स लगाने का निर्णय सरकार का बहुत ही दुखदाई और गलत है, क्योंकि इससे हम दोहरा वॉर कर रहे हैं इंडिया की डिफेंस के ऊपर। एक तरफ तो हम बोलते हैं कि हम अपने कल्चर का बड़ा रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, लेकिन जो हमारे बुजुर्ग इस समय वेटरन्स 80s की उम्र में हैं, उनके ऊपर हम टैक्स लगाकर उनकी इनकम को, उनके सपोर्ट सिस्टम को हिला रहे हैं। और दूसरी तरफ जेनजी जो कि ऐसे ही कोई जुनून नहीं दिखाती है, दिमाग से काम करती है, उनको हम प्रेरणा दे रहे हैं कि देखिए डिसेबल वेटरन्स को हम किस प्रकार रखते हैं, तो वो सैनिक कहाँ से बनेंगे, वो सेना में कहाँ से आएंगे। ये दोहरा वार है भारत की डिफेंस के ऊपर।
Veterans say the move creates two categories of disabled soldiers and unfairly penalizes those who chose serving the country over their disability.
Today, Assam witnessed a historic moment as Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed on the newly inaugurated emergency landing facility on the Moran bypass in Dibrugarh of Assam. The first facility of its kind in the northeast, it came alive with an impressive aerial display of fighter jets, transport aircraft and helicopters, showcasing India's air power. Now, the Moran facility, viewers, is part of a broader national security initiative that comes amid China's growing build-up of infrastructure near the border. It keeps India war-ready on the eastern frontier. In a conflict scenario where primary airfields might be targeted, the ELF, this strip provides the Indian Air Force with essential operational redundancy. Here's more.
History has been scripted in Assam. In a first for Northeast India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today landed aboard a C-130J Super Hercules on a newly built emergency landing on the Moran bypass in Dibrugarh. This is not just a strip of highway. This is a strategic statement. A 4.2-kilometer lifeline carved into a National Highway 24, built to launch fighters, land heavy transports, and power India's rapid response. Located in Assam's Brahmaputra Valley, the Moran airstrip sits at a critical crossroad. To the east, China. To the southeast, Myanmar. To the southwest, Bangladesh. Strategically positioned with operational depth in the line of actual control, this strip allows India to stage missions securely, yet respond at speed. The roar of engines, the thud of history. As the C-130J Super Hercules kissed the tarmac of Moran bypass, the Northeast entered a new strategic era. This is the region's first highway-based emergency landing facility, engineered not just for aircraft, but for deterrence. Moments after the Prime Minister's landing, the sky turned into a theatre of power. A Sukhoi Su-30 MKI thundered down the highway and lifted off with authority, watched by the Prime Minister, Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma and Union Minister Sarbananda Sonowal. A message echoed across the region that the Indian Air Force can operate from anywhere. Then came the Rafale with precision, power, projection. The fighter's takeoff from a public highway underscores India's evolving doctrine of mobility, flexibility, survivability. 16 aircrafts, fighters, transports, helicopters took part in the aerial display. The aircrafts and the forces also performed live demo of rescue operations.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Himanta Biswa Sarma, good evening.
Good evening.
And everyone across the country has watched your press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Now, you see, now that you've done the press conference, you've made some very, very damning allegations against Gaurav Gogoi.
Yes.
Are you doing it? First question, let's have it out of the way. Are you doing this because you're facing a huge test in your political career with the Assam elections coming up, and he's the person Rahul Gandhi is putting up against you?
Arnab, you know Assam. Even I produce a picture of Asim Munir and Gaurav Gogoi. Congress is not going to lose a single vote, because whomever the vote, the section of people who vote for Gaurav Gogoi or Rahul Gandhi in Assam, in any case they will vote only Congress. From that press conference, neither I will gain one vote, neither I will lose one vote.
But you have said some amazing things.
Yes.
You said that you think that Gaurav Gogoi visited Pakistan on an invitation from the ISI. You have said he has gone there for specific training, and some specific training was given to him in Pakistan.
Arnab,
these are national security allegations,
yes,
sir.
Yes. Arnab, today Gaurav Gogoi did a press conference. I do not know whether you know it or no, do not know it. He has amplified my allegation. My allegation was that he got a visa for Lahore. Then next day when he arrived Lahore, Ministry of Interior Pakistan issued a letter that he can come to Karachi and Islamabad, but there was no visa for Rawalpindi. Today, in the press conference, he says that he went to Taxila, that is in Rawalpindi district, that is the headquarters of Pakistan Army, and there is no visa for visiting Rawalpindi. Now, India and Pakistan visa regime is such that it has to be city-centric. Today we put a question to Mr. Gaurav Gogoi that how can you visit the most secure place in Pakistan, that is called Rawalpindi, without a valid visa for that city? So if you Google, you will get immediate answer that an Indian citizen cannot go to Rawalpindi district of Punjab province without a valid visa. We have examined Gaurav Gogoi's visa.
But he says, I went to visit my wife. He says, I went to Pakistan to visit my wife.
Today he did a press conference and he admitted that his wife was at that point of time not doing job in Pakistan. He said in the press conference in Assam today that me and my wife went to Pakistan for the reason of nostalgia. Both of us went to see the park where my wife used to play. We went to Pakistan to see where my wife used to do daily marketing. I went to Pakistan to see where my wife's office was. So today his answer was all these things. He today admitted that his wife was not in job at that point of time, and he went to Pakistan. You can imagine, this is the answer of the deputy leader of the Congress party in parliament. I went Pakistan to see.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
Himanto Biswa Sarma, good evening.
Good evening.
And everyone across the country has watched your press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Now, you see, now that you've done the press conference, you've made some very, very damning allegations against Gaurav Gogoi.
Yes.
Are you doing it? First question, let's have it out of the way. Are you doing this because you're...
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, not play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much then we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 World Cup जो है उस हवाले से हमने बड़ा वाज़ेह स्टैंड लिया है कि हम हिंदुस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ जो मैच है वो हम नहीं खेलेंगे, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि ये खेल का मैदान है, ये सियासत नहीं है। खेल के मैदान में सियासत बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमने एक बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने स्टैंड लिया है और इस हवाले से हमें बांग्लादेश के साथ पूरी तरह खड़े होना चाहिए।
That's what he said 8 days back. Now he's changed his line 8 days later. Now he's saying that the government of Pakistan is now directing the Pakistan national team to take the field on February 15 for the scheduled fixture against India in the T20 World Cup. Now viewers,
After the success of day one, BKC came alive once again as LIBF Expo 2026 continued to connect leaders, businesses and global ambitions.
Jay will be asking on something which is more on the development side, more on the professional side, and I will ask you something more on the personal side. How difficult is it to hold this crown on your head as the municipal commissioner and face all these complex challenges which I know you face day in and day out? But one thing I have seen about you is that I have never seen you get angry. So, मेरा सवाल है कि भूषण गगरानी को गुस्सा क्यों नहीं आता?
I have been married for last 35 years. More than that, what else can I say? Yes, Mumbai city, as initially I mentioned, is a very diverse, and it's not only diverse in terms of events or in terms of happenings in the city. Many times it is very unpredictable. So I think a simple answer to your question is that first of all we are trained to face this situation. Yes, it's a challenging situation, but I must admit, confess that we work in a particular framework which is democratic political framework. And if your orientation and your approach is adequately calibrated towards the challenges, opportunities, strengths and weaknesses of this system, and you appreciate that thing, then I think your vision will be very, very clear and you will be able to work comfortably.
With so many departments and so many people to handle and such complex issues to handle. But there is always something which misses out. And therefore, there is more brickbats than bouquets. Now, how does one keep your staff and all these people motivated despite all these brickbats?
Vijay ji, you are also proud citizen of Mumbai. Many of us are. You may love BMC, you may hate BMC, but you cannot ignore BMC. It touches to your everyday life. The moment you born in the city, you will get the birth certificate from BMC. And the moment of your departure from this mundane world, you will get the death certificates from Mumbai. So between these two certificates, whatever services are provided, knowingly, unknowingly for the people, I think this covers the entire bandwidth. Whether it's a mobility, whether it's a water supply, whether it's a sanitation, whether it's a public open spaces. BMC is the only organization which runs 5 medical colleges. BMC is the only organization which has 4 own water supply dams. So the canvas is very huge.
Sir, you just mentioned Mumbai's expectation, and we have few developers who are into redevelopment in Mumbai from our community. And sir, redevelopment is critical to Mumbai's future. And how is BMC simplifying faster, safer and more transparent redevelopment? Sir, can you throw some lights on that?
Jay, you yourself, I think, into this business. There are a lot of Takkar ji hai, unhone subah abhi bataya. Redevelopment in Mumbai, because of the nature of Mumbai's land-related issues and legacy issues is very complex. Land always remained a very contested over the years. Little departure, but couple of interesting facts. how Mumbai's entire development and of course real estate is closely linked with land. Of course, real estate and land, I did not elaborate the relationship between two of them. I am delighted here to make a note that whatever investment various government agencies are doing into infrastructure development and public sector investments, whether it's roads, bridges, metros, and various other, the entire investment, if it is not reciprocated by private sector, this investment will become a sunk investment. But in Mumbai, all these developers are reciprocating that investment in the form of redevelopment or otherwise. So I think public sector and private sector is working in tandem to that extent. So to make Mumbai more livable, certain amount of public collective consciousness is to be created. Whenever a person from any place of India comes to Mumbai, from anywhere, he is very impressed with the civic sense of Mumbai. And whenever we go out and come back to Mumbai, we get very disappointed by the civic sense of our city.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your time, clarity of thoughts, and deep commitment to the Mumbai's future. And thank you once again for being with us today, sir. Thank you.
We would like to request Mr. Vijay Karya, sir, to felicitate our today's chief guest, Mr. Bhushan Gagrani, sir.
Many professionals want to service markets like Australia and other international hubs. But their biggest doubt is what can realistically be done from India and when is on-ground presence actually required. So my question to you is, when servicing clients in markets like Australia or other international hubs, what exact type of work can realistically be delivered from India? And what kind of work usually requires on-ground presence or local alliances? And how should a small or a mid-sized firm structure this execution model practically? You may take an example of country like Australia, sir.
No, I think most of the countries would have, similar way of, bringing business to India for any startups. There are many ways to do it depending on at what level you are starting your business, right? So if a small accounting firm wants to start a business, as my colleagues have mentioned, you need to be on LinkedIn, you need to have a good digital presence, you could go to the expo and try and win the business one-on-one. That's probably one of the best and easiest way to launch yourself. I think the second way and probably more strategic way of doing that is kind of go and see if you can actually do a partnership or JV with any of the practicing accounting firms in UK, US or Australia. So you kind of become their back office to start with, and then obviously you can expand your wings. So that is another way of doing it. The third way, which is even more strategic, is actually now I see there's a huge culture of private equity and VCs in India. I would like to see why Indian chartereds, along with the VCs funds or PE funds, go and start acquiring some of the stakes in foreign CPA firms. That could actually could be the more scalable, more fast and more strategic. So these are the three ways of doing the business.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. So that explanation really simplifies international servicing and gives professionals a clear picture of how Australia and similar markets can be handled practically from India. Thank you very much, sir. So my next question is to Anand Bhatia, sir. Once professionals start entering international work, the real challenge is not getting opportunities, but scaling them sustainably, right? So CA Anand Bhatia, sir, from your experience, what are some essential skills, mindsets, or capabilities that professionals must imbibe in their professional toolkit while scaling an international cross-border practice?
Yeah, so I think we are taking the discussion forward, as you can see. First, from getting clients, how do you get clients, to now, how do you sustain clients, or how do you make sure that clients remain with you? One feature or one characteristic that we'll have to keep in mind is the softer aspect of culture as well, when you are dealing with international clients. The way that we have been doing in India might not be the same that will happen in some of these geographies, and perhaps each of these geography will have its nuances. Some of the Australian counterparts tell us that every week he receives 10 emails from Indian chartered accountants saying that we'll do at X dollars, X minus $2, X minus $2, and it becomes a pricing game. They don't want pricing beyond a point. They want quality, and they want consistent quality. So he says, I get irritated when I get an email or a LinkedIn request from an Indian chartered accountant saying that please give us work. So we'll have to look at the lens of the culture as well. What works, what does not work, what is working in India might not work there.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. This gives a roadmap to scale internationally and have a proper work cross-border transactions. So now, even when relationships and opportunities are available, many mid-sized Indian firms feel they cannot compete with large global firms in cross-border advisory because of scale, brand, and resources. So my next question to Harshal sir, one big equalizer today is technology, especially AI, artificial intelligence. Harshal sir, I would like to take this discussion into a very relevant area. How can AI help mid-sized Indian firms become competitive with big firms in cross-border transaction advisory?
No, so Pratik, I think that's a very, very relevant question that you have, asked. I think for the past 2 to 3 years, including, ICI courses, etc., AI is very, very relevant for all of us. And I believe that all of us would be using AI. I'll give you some practical instances where AI is actually an equalizer, and you don't really need to feel that you are undercompetent when, you look up to your peers which are much larger than you. Some experiences at our firm has been that, as I think Anandji said, when an inquiry comes, don't refuse. So let's say you get an inquiry, I need some, advice on US trust for estate planning. What kind of trust should I, form there for a US green card holder or citizen, or maybe NRI not still holding a US passport? Plethora of options are there, grantor trust, non-grantor trust, then IDGT, intentionally defective grantor trust, etc. So all these concepts that are there, before AI, we had to scavenge Google, search engine, etc. in order to find relevance that, how do I even address this query? So here is where AI comes in. You have plethora of AI tools. You have, Perplexity, you have Gemini, you have ChatGPT, etc. Obviously, hallucination is not something that you can run away from. That is going to be there, but at least an initial response and an immediate initial response. You can't take weeks to respond to a basic query. That is where AI comes in. You can do your entire research on AI. I at least tell my staff, please use AI to improve your language. When you are addressing foreign clients, their expectations are completely different. So don't apply the same benchmarks that are there for Indian clients to foreign clients.
That's great. Perfectly said, sir. You have given a very good advice to young members and the students which are sitting in the audience. Today's discussion clearly shows that international practice is no longer distant or limited to big firms. It is real, structured, and achievable opportunity for Indian professionals who are willing to evolve their mindsets, systems, and collaborations. On behalf of LIBF, I sincerely thank our esteemed panelists, CA Viral Kanaba sir, CA Harshal Bhutta sir, and CA Anand Bhatia sir, for sharing such practical, honest and insightful perspective. I also thank all of you for your attention and participation. Thank you and wishing you all a very enriching convention ahead. Thank you very much.
Despite a certain corrections, many say that Indian equities are still expensive. What's one underestimated trends that could drive long-term equity?
See, I think ये expensive, cheap is a constant debate that has happened. Now, I will tell you, पिछले 10 साल में Indian equity की जो valuation है, वो 14 से 21 हो गई है. तो structurally Indian equities have gotten more expensive. अभी आप ये भी फैक्ट देखिए, 2 दिन पहले आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे का रिजल्ट आया, इंडियन इक्विटी और इंडियन जीडीपी इज ग्रोइंग एट 7%. तो अभी भी इतने जियोपॉलिटिकल केओस के बाद वी रिमेन वन ऑफ द मोस्ट फास्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमीज इन द वर्ल्ड. नाउ आर इंडियन इक्विटी इज एक्सपेंसिव? उसका आंसर इज इट डिपेंड्स. आपका नज़रिया क्या है? अगर आपका 5 साल का नज़रिया है, मुझे लगता है 2025 इंडिया के लिए बहुत बुरा साल रहा है.
At this point of time, या मुझे commodities, any precious metal में मुझे positions बढ़ानी चाहिए, घटानी चाहिए, आपको या तो फिर आपका ऐसा कोई फंड बताइए जो मुझे इक्विटी भी दे, डेट भी दे.
डोंट गो मेक 50% ऑफ योर पोर्टफोलियो गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर. कैसे खरीदना है, मैं आपको 2 कॉन्क्रीट सुझाव दे सकती हूँ. एक तो इंडस्ट्री में गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर के कंबाइंड फंड हैं, हमारा भी है. ऐसे फंड हैं जिसमें 75% गोल्ड है, 25% सिल्वर है, हमारा 50-50 वाला है. आप ऐसा प्रोडक्ट ले सकते हैं. या अगर आपको ये सब नहीं करना तो ऐसे फंड हैं जिनको हम मल्टी एसेट कहते हैं. हमारा जैसे 65% इक्विटी, 20% गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर, 15% डेट वाला फंड है. आप वो लेके बैठ जाइए. ये 2 चीज़ें आप कॉन्क्रीटली कर सकते हैं.
Super. I think somebody should go for a multi-asset as is something what you're taking for. If a retail investor follow just few simple rules to build long-term wealth through equities, what they should be?
So rules to build wealth. Firstly, I am not saying this because I am sitting on this stage. They should go find a financial advisor. That advisor will be able to tell them कि उनकी ज़रूरत क्या है. निवेश करने से पहले आपकी निवेश से ज़रूरत क्या है, आपके गोल क्या है, आपकी एपेटाइट क्या है. क्या आप ऐसे बंदे हैं जो आपका पोर्टफोलियो 30% गिर जाएगा तो आपको रात को नींद नहीं आएगी, क्या आप और डालेंगे? वो एक एडवाइज़र आपको बताएगा. आई थिंक रिस्क टेकिंग इज़ अमेजिंग एंड आई थिंक एज अ कंट्री हिंदुस्तानियों की रिस्क टेकिंग एपेटाइट बढ़ रही है और ये बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है. हमारी बिजनेस में भी, खुद के बिजनेस में लेने की रिस्क बढ़ रही है, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में भी रिस्क बढ़ रही है. बट देयर इज़ अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन टेकिंग रिस्क एंड सीइंग योर पोर्टफोलियो एवरी डे. देयर आर सम वेरी रिस्क टेकिंग इन्वेस्टर्स आई नो. But seeing your portfolio every day, Jignesh bhai, forces you into action.
Do you see even smart investors make in this space?
Oh, this can be
last question and then.
Oh, this is the last question. This can be a very long answer, but I won't give you a very long answer. I think क्योंकि हम ऐसे दौर में हैं जहाँ इतनी information है, investing एक बहुत social चीज़ हो गई है. It's a little strange, but it's become very social. तो जिग्नेश भाई, आप ऐसे फोरम में आते हैं, आप किसी के पास बैठते हैं, आपको लगता है कि आप अच्छे एडवाइज़र के पास गए, आपके पोर्टफोलियो का रिटर्न 14% है, लेकिन देन यू मीट राम भाई एंड ही सेज मेरे पोर्टफोलियो का रिटर्न तो 21% है. फिर आपको क्या फीलिंग आती है कि मेरे एडवाइज़र ने मेरे साथ धोखा किया है. देन यू आस्क हिम, भाई राम भाई आपने क्या किया 21% कमाने के लिए? एंड देन यू विल फाइंड आउट ही इज़ इन्वेस्टेड इन क्रिप्टो. फिर आपको क्रिप्टो का ऊपर नीचे का कुछ समझ नहीं आता, लेकिन कल आप भी जाके क्रिप्टो की ट्रेड कर देते हैं. एंड इट्स बिकम वेरी सोशल एंड मोस्ट ऑफ लाइफ हैज़ बिकम वेरी सोशल. सो आई ऑलवेज से एक्चुअली इफ यू लुक एट द पोर्टफोलियो रिटर्न्स ऑफ पीपल ऑन एक्स, एवरीबडी इज मेकिंग मनी. इफ यू लुक एट द करियर पोस्ट ऑफ पीपल ऑन लिंक्डइन, एवरीबडी इज गेटिंग अ प्रमोशन. एंड इफ यू लुक एट family photos on Instagram, everyone has a happy marriage. None of this is actually true.
Agreed.
And so my suggestion is don't make this so social. Investing is deeply personal. My husband is also sitting here. I think it is very important, and something that he kind of encourages us to do is write down what you want from your money and document that. आप पैसे से क्या चाहते हैं? When do you get nervous? What kind of funds do you want to invest in? What kind of funds you don't want to invest in? You know, परिवार में we have this thing called values and it is very important. I think have a set of core values and objectives around your money and stick to it, because then you won't get excited by Twitter and Instagram and Excel.
Super. Thank you. I think we have many sessions today on the capital markets. A lot of veterans like Radhika ji is already in the room. We have got Parag Bhai Thakkar, we have got Ashish Bhai Somaiya, we have got Yuvraj Bhai with us, and Nimesh Bhai Chandan. All are there today with us. I would like to call upon Vijay Bhai Karya ji and Yuvraj to please come on the stage and felicitate Radhika ji.
LIBF Expo 2026 leaves us with new learning, stronger connections, and a shared belief in what we can build together. A young man was killed after a woman driving a Thar SUV at high speed allegedly lost control and rammed into him. The accident occurred late last night on Sun Pharma Road along the stretch connecting Akshar Chowk in Vadodara. According to police, Abhishek Moore was on his way when the Thar SUV coming from the opposite direction allegedly lost control and hit him with tremendous force. The impact proved fatal and Abhishek died on the spot. The local residents rushed to the scene soon after the crash. Based on a complaint filed by the victim's father, police arrested 19-year-old Rishika Sadnani, who was driving the Thar. As per the police, she was reportedly returning from a wedding along with 2 other girls. Meanwhile, the DCP Manjita confirmed that an investigation is underway to determine whether the vehicle was over-speeding.
ऋषिका सदनानी करके जो लेडी थी वो ये गाड़ी चला रही थी और ये अपनी दोस्त को शादी के बाद घर छोड़ने जा रही थी। उस दौरान ये घटना हुई है। क्या कर रही है ये ऋषिका अभी कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर में पढ़ाई कर रही है। चश्मदीद का ये कहना है कि गाड़ी ओवर स्पीड में थी, बहुत स्पीड में चला रहे हैं। अभी हम पुलिस की तहकीकात में हम जितने भी सीसीटीवी कैमरास हैं और गाड़ी की स्पीड की एक टेक्निकल सर्वे होता है, मोटर व्हीकल एक्सपर्ट्स होते हैं, उनको बुला के हम जो गाड़ी की स्पीड कितनी हो सकती है, कितनी स्पीड में कितनी टक्कर लग सकती है, वो सारा एक पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन होता है। वो पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है और रात को ऐसे कोई नशीले पदार्थों का लेडी ने सेवन किया हुआ है तो उसके भी उनका शारीरिक परीक्षण पर किया जा रहा है।
On the other hand, a medical examination has also been conducted to check if the driver was intoxicated.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
रानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरी राजा,
सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, delicious, healthy, every day.
Himanto Biswa Sarma, good evening.
Good evening.
And everyone across the country has watched your press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Now, you see, now that you've done the press conference, you've made some very, very damning allegations against Gaurav Gogoi.
Yes.
Are you doing it? First question, let's have it out of the way. Are you doing this because you're facing a huge test in your political career with the Assam elections coming up, and he's the person Rahul Gandhi is putting up against you?
Arnab, you know Assam. Even I produce a picture of Asim Munir and Gaurav Gogoi. Congress is not going to lose a single vote, because whomever the vote, the section of people who vote for Gaurav Gogoi or Rahul Gandhi in Assam, in any case they will vote only Congress. From that press conference, neither I will gain one vote, neither I will lose one vote.
But you have said some amazing things.
Yes.
You said that you think that Gaurav Gogoi visited Pakistan on an invitation from the ISI. You have said he has gone there for specific training, and some specific training was given to him in Pakistan.
Arnab,
these are national security allegations,
yes,
sir.
Yes. Arnab, today Gaurav Gogoi did a press conference. I do not know whether you know it or no, do not know it. He has amplified my allegation. My allegation was that he got a visa for Lahore. Then next day when he arrived Lahore, Ministry of Interior Pakistan issued a letter that he can come to Karachi and Islamabad, but there was no visa for Rawalpindi. Today, in the press conference, he says that he went to Taxila, that is in Rawalpindi district, that is the headquarters of Pakistan Army, and there is no visa for visiting Rawalpindi. Now, India and Pakistan visa regime is such that it has to be city-centric. Today we put a question to Mr. Gaurav Gogoi that how can you visit the most secure place in
Choosing the very best of something is never very easy, but it requires a lot of patience, a lot of credibility, a lot of transparency, and then that outcome is worth its weight in more than gold. Welcome to a very special television event. We are talking about selecting the very best products and some of the people behind them from India's automobile industry. Now, like I said, it's a very detailed and stringent process. So right now we are in Chennai for this grand celebration, but a few days ago, we were actually at the Budh International Circuit in Greater Noida, outside the nation's capital, to go through some of what our jury really needs to contend with when they are assessing, analyzing and testing this year's best cars and best bikes. Given a chance, I think all of us want to just keep riding.
We got way more than we expected. Every year I think I should be hanging up my boots, but this is just so much fun. I can't keep myself away.
You have to ride with your throttle. You can't go off the throttle like a high fair moment over there.
Emotional appeal is zero. Like it has not a Yamaha. I've always hated the ergonomics of all the Indians that have come. This was the first one which I liked. There's one that felt like a dad joke on wheels. super corny, but good fun. Front half is doing its own thing, back half is doing its own thing.
The booth is one of the best technical circuits ever made.
Money doesn't buy class, or performance, or good sense.
I'm a little shaky right now. What a surreal feeling, man. My God.
I think the lineup is always good. A lot of the bikes show up here. I think that's really important, that we actually ride every single bike.
I've gone faster than I've ever. I touched 312 on the back straight.
The lineup we have of cars is unparalleled, so it's fun, absolutely.
It was brilliant. We think it's a dud. We just dropped that credit.
It's exciting. Being at the racetrack, that makes it unique. There's a certain glamour to a car on a racetrack.
And we've really sort of built a certain credibility that comes from that foundation, no doubt. All this time and energy and effort is worth it, because finally, eventually we want people to care about it. And that's a tough ask.
Do you agree? Yes. So the award goes to?
Yolorukam Vanakam. Good evening. Namaskar. Adab. Wonderful to see all of you here tonight. It is a fabulous evening, and it's you who is making it fabulous. Big round of applause for all of you. Maruti began the year by declaring war. It says it's going to regain 50% of the market. That's going to be some fight, especially with, MG, BYD, Hyundai, Kia, now even VinFast, wanting some delectable parts of all of that. All the Asian brands, right? Super hungry. Well, except the other Japanese, who are still kind of surviving on their hibernation snacks, let's call it. Freeze-dried Magnite, dehydrated Elevate. But Honda motorcycle and scooter keeps on gaining on the Apna hometown hero. So, that's another nice battle that's simmering away. It's going to be interesting to see how that ends up at the end of this fiscal. Let's see whose destiny it is to shine. Yeah, the Auto Expo was a good start to the year. We saw a lot of new metal, plenty of excitement. India did cement its position as the world's third largest car market this year. It is a sign of how vibrant our market is. It's a sign of, how much excitement there is when you can still welcome new investment, new brands. So, welcome VinFast, welcome Brixton, welcome VLF. We're ready to welcome Norton, Genesis. And how can I forget? It finally happened. Finally, Tesla. We welcomed Tesla this year. Indian buyers finally had the option of buying one in some cities. And you got to be kind of borderline HNI to be able to get one. But hey, it's still pretty cool. We also saw a lot of investment in the component space. Harman, Magna, Suyo, nice. Hyundai kicked off the production plant that is refurbished now, the one acquired from GM. It's also consolidated big time with, the huge blockbuster IPO. Ather also had its IPO. लेकिन उनका market से रिश्ता अभी कुछ जमा नहीं. Ford also announced that it's going to dust off its Chennai plant soon. It's close by, right? No, still don't hear anything. A big flavor this year was the fact that India became the sole hub for many, many global products. The Suzuki e-Vitaras, the Suzuki e-Access, Hyundai Venue, Honda BRV, Tata Sierra. Oh wait, no, that is just for us here in India. For now, the GST cuts surely rocketed the industry forward, and I think it gave us a lot of much needed resuscitation. And have you all cashed in? You really have. Absolutely. Round of applause to all of you. It's been fabulous seeing this excitement in the market. Bravo. And we're going to end the year well. Festive season could have been better, sure, especially if logistics had been a little bit better, but that's how yin and yang works, I suppose. And, you know, sales on the whole, though, have been awesome for many, regardless of all these pressures. I mean, the XEV9e, the Creta, the Victoris, the Creta, the B6, the Creta, the Tharox, the Creta, the Curve. Oh, wait, that's the other list. Sorry. And like I said, there was a little snag with the semiconductors, thankfully short-lived. There was, of course, that rare earth metal crisis as well. All of that could have just sort of made things even better. I think your sales would have been even more if those problems hadn't showed up. But we are ending 2025 for the first time ever seeing, well, not ever, but like in decades, seeing Tata and Mahindra fighting for the second spot. I mean, relegating Hyundai to number 4, that is quite something, despite Hyundai holding on to volume. So yes, our market is growing. And it's a year where a relatively premium-priced compact SUV became the best-selling car. I mean, how far our market and our buyer have come if it's the Creta and not the WagonR or the Desire that tops sales charts. Awesome. That's pretty cool. We also sent more cars to Japan this year than ever before. Japan has not returned the favor. Zero Alpha. Nissan Leaf. Excuse me. Second 5-star rating on the trot for Maruti Suzuki from Global NCAP. Truly a safety champion now. You have plenty of Bharat NCAP certificates too now. So all of you, good job industry on making vehicles safer. Thank you for that. Even more to be done on better infrastructure, better quality of that, better quality of signage, quicker response for emergency services, traffic management, and so much more. Focus on children's safety on the road, protective gear enforcement for riders. Thar drivers, please calm down. You know, we're going to get bigger. We're going to get better. That starts tonight. In fact, I want to share a big announcement with you. The timing of this could not have been better for us. We started just over 2 years ago. And I am proud to announce, yeah, that's a big thing for us. That is huge for me and the rest of the team because in the YouTube sweepstakes, we are now at number 3. I know that means little to some people and a lot to others. So we're not fly-by-night. We have much to offer. Our consumer sees it. Many of you see it. For those of you who don't see it, no one's perfect. So, let's get this evening started. A big round of applause to all of you, India's automobile industry. It's one to reckon with. It's one that matters. And tonight we give you India's best. We are in Chennai to celebrate the rich automobile manufacturing and development heritage of this region. We are paying tribute to that over our 2 ceremonies yesterday and today. And you can see that the imagery here as well tries to capture some of that flavor. It's a nod to this being one of India's main export and import hubs, for auto especially. So welcome to Chennai, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the grand finale of the 2026 Totems. A big shout out to Team Acco Drive and to our partners, especially Vikas and Sneha, for this fab, absolutely terrific set and all the work that's gone into bringing this to you tonight. All our partners as well, as I said at the start. And now we begin. I want to start with something that, of course, as you all know, I've just established for those of you who don't, very close to my heart. Dr. Sumantran, could you please join me on stage? My favorite award, literally, is that of Safety Champion. Last year, it went to Maruti Suzuki. The car market leader impressed and awed with its first global NCAP 5-star car last year, the Humble Desire. So who's getting it this year? For taking things up a notch, bagging a second set of 5 stars for adult and child occupant protection, for bringing ADAS to its large fan base and to that entire big community of people that it serves, for its safety shields at both its retail channels. The winner.
The 2026 Safety Champion Award goes to Maruti Suzuki Limited.
Back-to-back wins on this one. Please come up, Team Maruti. All right, first award of the night, Maruti Suzuki, many congrats. Thank you so much, Dr. Sumantran. And now it is my honor and privilege to introduce you to my very talented, very charming, very well-traveled and automobile-loving co-anchor this evening. She's also going to make me look good and also definitely make the totems shine. Please welcome Ramona Arena. Love to have you here with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Sid. I am just so excited to be here tonight, and also thank you for that very kind and generous introduction.
And true.
Now the pressure's on. I have a lot to live up to.
Let's dive into it.
These are the design and EV categories. Basically, the questions here are, how does it look and how does it charge? Well, design is everything. A beautiful motorcycle is like a beautiful person. Everyone stares at it, but half the people resent you for having it. Our nominees have redefined what two-wheelers can look like.
2026 Echo Drive Bike Design. Aprilia Tuono 457. Brixton Cromwell 1200. Hero Zoom 160. Hero Extreme 250R. Honda X ADV. KTM 390 Enduro. Ola Roadster. TVS Orbiter. Ultraviolet X47. VLF Mobster. Yamaha XSR 155.
The Totem Awards for 2026 bike design goes to Hero Zoom 160.
Something silent, fast, and loaded with tech. It's time for the EV Bike of the Year.
2026 EV bike is Ultra Violetto X47 crossover.
EV scooters, the unsung heroes of urban commute. While everyone's obsessing over SUVs, scooters are quietly solving last-mile connectivity. They're the friend who sadly doesn't get invited to parties, but actually does all of the important work.
So the Totem 2026 EV scooter goes to Vida VX2.
So every award ceremony needs a moment to honor legacy. Tonight, we are going to do much better. We are honoring a brand that has been integral to Indian motorcycling for decades. A brand that's understood something fundamental, that Indians don't just want transportation. They want a lifestyle. And in fact, they want to look super cool while living life.
Born as a brand in 1901, Royal Enfield has grown to be amongst the world's most enduring motorcycle brands. From establishing operations in India in 1955 to producing the iconic Bullet for decades, to being a sick entity facing a potential shutdown and then developing global product platforms like the Himalayan and the 650 Twins. It has been a remarkable ride for Royal Enfield. The mid-size motorcycle specialist has strengthened its capabilities through advanced technology centers in India and the UK, supported by modern, scalable manufacturing systems. And the result? was the introduction of the 650 Twins, which was an instantaneous hit amongst enthusiasts. While the J platform set the tone for its ever-popular 350cc range, it was followed by the rev-happy 450cc liquid-cooled engine, again a new direction for the brand. The British origin brand at the cusp of its 125th year is now a flag-bearer for India, with its motorcycles cruising in more than 80 countries, reflecting a commitment to quality, reliability, and accessible motorcycling. AccoDrive honors this unmatched and enduring legacy of Royal Enfield, one of this year's inductees to the 2026 Hall of Fame as a manufacturing pioneer.
Literally rewritten the rule book on how to be iconic.
Ladies and gentlemen, wish you all a very good evening. A special thanks to Mr. Siddharth Patankar and BGR who couldn't make it today. He was supposed to be here. Where's Mr. Siddharth? I liked his sense of humor. Hey, I like your sense of humor. I am attending your function first time. So cheers to you first of all. And the one-liners means I have an optional career option for you. You can also be a good stand-up comedian. So that's an option.
That's the backup plan.
Okay, now let me talk a little bit of Royal Enfield. So we, four of us you see here, we represent a family of motorcycling enthusiasts. And for us, the family definition is slightly different. So anybody who is a biking enthusiast, anyone who rides a bike is part of our family. And then that's the place where the lines blur between family, vendor, dealer, customer. So anybody who is a biking enthusiast is part of our family. And we put so much passion into producing, designing, sales, service, everything of the motorcycles that we command a mind-boggling 89% market share as far as the premium motorcycle segment is concerned. We sold more than 1 million motorcycles last year.
Next up, we've got car design and electric vehicles. If motorcycles are leather jackets, I'm told, cars are tailored suits. They need to look absolutely impeccable. Have you noticed how cars these days are getting bolder? They've got sharper lines, more aggressive grills. It's like vehicles have kind of started going to the gym, working out, and I like it.
2026 AccoDrive car design. Hyundai Venue. Kia Ceros. Mahindra B6. Mahindra XEV 9e. Maruti Suzuki Victoris. MG Cyberster. Mini JCW Countryman All 4. Porsche Macan Electric. VinFast VF7. Volvo EX30.
So the Totem 2026 Car Design Award goes to MG Cyberster.
Moving on, electric cars. The future is here. The future that we were promised has actually arrived on time. These aren't just cars, they're statements. They say, I care about the planet, and also, I can afford this technology.
Uh, 2026 EV Car Award goes to, any guess? It's a Kia Carens Clavis EV.
We have an interesting segment, the luxury EV car. This is where ambition meets responsibility, where your Instagram caption can read both climate conscious, and main character energy.
The 2026 luxury EV car, whom should we give this to? Ooh, the BMW iX1, please.
We are back with another Hall of Fame. This time, our honoree is all about celebrating a company that's been the backbone of automotive innovation in India. The unsung hero behind the scenes, the company that supplies the parts that make the magic happen, RERA Group has been instrumental in India's automotive journey.
A major player in the Indian automotive ecosystem, the $870 million RERA Group stands tall as a flag bearer of India's growing manufacturing competence. A supplier to OEMs across vehicle segments and for railways and stationary engines too, the Chennai headquartered components major also exports to over 30 countries. For its enduring commitment to excellence and continuous efforts to push the boundaries for nearly a century, AccoDrive honors the RERA Group by inducting it into the 2026 Hall of Fame as a manufacturing pioneer.
Congratulations.
Good evening to all. It's been an honor to be here among the industry leaders, and we from RERA are so much dedicated to the auto industry. We have been in the manufacturing over the last 65 years, and we make several parts to all the major OEMs, and we sincerely thank the OEMs for supporting us and trusting us. We continue to dedicate ourselves to this industry, and we would like to grow more with our future aspirations and technology. RERA forever. Thank you.
Congratulations once again on winning the totem.
We now move to two more very important awards because they reflect the people's favorite. Viewer's Choice.
2026 Viewer's Choice Bike of the Year. Hero Extreme 250R. Honda CB125 Hornet. KTM 390 Adventure. Royal Enfield Hunter 350. Suzuki Access. TVS Apache RTX. Ultraviolet X47 Crossover. Vita VX2.
All of those votes on our website on accodrive.com/awards. And the winner, okay. So can I just give this little detail? The second runner-up was the Suzuki Access. Little round of applause, please, because lots of votes there. First runner-up, the Honda CB125 Hornet. Applause for Honda. And the winner is?
The winner is Royal Enfield Hunter 350.
I would like to hear from you because Viewer's Choice is all about people power. They love your bike.
They surely love our bike. And as we say, we have two types of customers. One is the customer or the traditional customer. And second is the fan club. And this award belongs to the fan club of Royal Enfield. Thank you so much once again.
2026 Viewer's Choice Car of the Year. Honda Amaze. Hyundai Venue. Kia Ceros. Mahindra B6. Maruti Suzuki Victoris. MG Cyberster. Skoda Kailak. Volkswagen Golf GTI.
Okay, so we have second runner-up Hyundai Venue, first runner-up Honda Amaze, and the 2026 Totem Viewer's Choice car goes to Mahindra BE6.
Yeah, when we designed the new electric series, it was about all about customers, and it reflects who they are. It's not a body or a sheet metal. It is your emotions and feelings in the road. So that shows in the car, in the award. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. That's a big one. Thank you, Animesh. And now we move on to our, well, you know what, actually there's a bit of a little surprise here now when it comes to our Hall of Fame inductees. So let me go ahead and first sort of invite the our group CEO and founder Varun Dua to please join me up on stage, because it's for one of us, it's one of our family, comes from the heart. We've talked about this whole Chennai theme. You've seen all these containers and the themes of the local culture. We've talked about all of this world-class manufacturing. We've honored those manufacturing pioneers. But there's one other product of Chennai that has been world-class. Led by example, has made India proud, has been a guiding light for many of us. So many of us from the industry, also those of us from our team. And it's not a brand, it's not a company, it's a special person, a pioneer, a trailblazer, and so worthy of being inducted into many halls of fame. We affectionately call him Dr. Sumantran. Please come up on stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is truly a surprise, but while I'm here on the stage, let me share with you my true admiration for what Siddharth and the entire Totem team have done with ACCO. By the way, this has been the 21st year that I have been